students. Good evening to everyone. This is Bujji Babu, working as a chemistry lecturer in Vignan Cooperative Junior College, Vatlamudi. In this session, I am going to explain another topic of surface chemistry. In a previous video, I gave total information about the what are colloids, what are the characteristics of colloids, what are the live examples for the colloids, and the difference between the true solution and colloidal solution. Clearly we know about that. So to identify the given solution, either it is a true solution or colloidal solution, it is depending upon mainly 2 points. What are they? First one, true solution is a homogeneous mixture, colloidal solution is a heterogeneous mixture. And another important thing is, based on the size of the particle, we have to identify the given solution, either it is a true solution or colloidal solution. If the size of the particle is greater than 1 nanometer, that is known as colloidal solution. Otherwise, it is a true solution particle. So in this video, students, especially we are going to explain about the classification of the colloids and mechanism of the colloidal system and a cleaning action of the soaps. All these concepts are discussed in this video. What are the contents present in this video are, first one, classification of colloids. After knowing the definition of the colloids may be classified into mainly 3 categories. First classification is based on the physical state of dispersive phase and dispersion medium. And the second classification is the interaction present between the dispersive phase and dispersion medium. And third classification is nature on the particles which are present in the dispersive phase. Another important content is mechanism of micelle formation. So micelle is a third type of category of the colloids classification. Associated colloids are micelles. What are associated colloids and what are micelles? And finally, cleaning action of soaps. Soap and detergents are best example for the micelles. How the micelle formation takes place? When we are cleaning the clothes by using soaps and detergents, how the mechanism of micelle including in this process, we have to learn all these concepts in this cleaning action of soaps. Classification of colloids. So what are the classification of the colloids? Colloids may be classified into 3 categories. The first one is based on the physical state of dispersive phase and dispersion medium. This is our first classification. Colloids can be classified into based on the physical state of dispersive phase and dispersion medium. Second classification is the interaction between dispersive phase and dispersion medium. Second classification is the interaction present between the dispersive phase and dispersion medium. Again, colloids are classified into 2 categories. First one is lyophilic colloidal sols. And second one, lyophobic colloidal sols. And third classification is nature of particles of dispersive phase. This is the third classification, nature of the particles of the dispersive phase. Again, colloids are classified into 3 categories. So first one is multimolecular colloids. Second one, macromolecular colloids. And third one, associated colloids. Associated colloids are simply micelles. So this is the classification of the colloidal solutions. So mainly colloids are classified into 3 categories. First one, based on the physical state of the dispersive phase and dispersion medium. And second one, interaction between the dispersive phase and dispersion medium. Based on this principle, colloids may be classified into 2 categories. First one, lyophilic and second one lyophobic sols, and third one nature of the particles of the dispersive phase. Again, this classified into three categories. What are they? Multimolecular colloids, macromolecular colloids, and third one associated colloids or micelles. The first classification is classification based on physical state of dispersed phase and dispersion medium. We know that every colloidal solution consisting of mainly two parts. First one is dispersive phase and second one is dispersion medium. So, based on the physical state of the dispersive phase and dispersion medium, colloids are classified into these types. Look at this table. In this table, if dispersive phase is solid, and dispersion medium is solid, that is known as solid type of colloidal solution. Both the dispersive phase and dispersion medium both are presenting in a solid state, that is known as solid type of colloidal solution. The best example is some colored glasses and gemstones. Some colored glasses and gemstones are best example for this type of colloidal solution. And next one, if dispersive phase is solid and dispersion medium is a liquid, such type of sols are called as simply sols. That means a solution. Best example is paints and cell fluids. And third one, if dispersive phase is solid and dispersion medium is gas, that is known as aerosol type of colloidal solution. If the dispersion medium is a gas, such type of colloids are called as aerosols. Okay, best example is smoke and dust. And next one, if the dispersive phase is liquid and dispersion medium is solid, that type of colloidal solution is known as gel. Best example is cheese, butter and jellies. And next one, if dispersive phase is liquid and dispersion medium is liquid, both the dispersive phase and dispersion medium are presenting in liquid state, such type of colloids are called as emulsions. This is very, very important concept. This topic is coming later in our general surface chemistry. What are emulsions and the classification of the emulsions, oil in water in oil, everything will be learned there. Okay, both the dispersive phase and dispersion medium presenting in liquid state, such type of colloids are called as emulsions. Best example is milk, hair creams. And next one, if dispersive phase is liquid and dispersion medium is gas, such type of colloids are called aerosols. Examples are fog, mist, cloud, insecticides, sprays. Okay, next one, if the dispersive phase is gas and dispersion medium is solid, such type of colloids are called solid sols. Best example, fumaric stone and foam rubber. And finally, if dispersive phase is gas and dispersion medium is liquid, such type of colloids are called foam. So best examples are froth, whipped cream and soap lather. This is a first classification of the colloids, mainly based on the physical state of the dispersive phase and dispersion medium. Second classification of the colloids, classification based on the nature of interaction between dispersive phase and dispersion medium. Colloids containing two parts. First one is dispersive phase, dispersion medium. If the greater interaction between the dispersive phase and dispersion medium, if the greater interaction or a greater affinity present between the dispersive phase and dispersion medium, such type of colloids are called lyophilic sols. Lyophilic sols are solvent loving sols. Here, the greater interaction takes place between the dispersive phase and dispersion medium presenting in the colloidal solution. Such type of colloids are called lyophilic sols or solvent loving sols. So in this type of lyophilic sols, we can easily isolate dispersive phase from dispersion medium by simple mixing. In this type of lyophilic sols, generally the particles of a substance can easily mix with the dispersion medium. For example, the particles of dispersive phase particles can easily mixing with the dispersion medium. So basing on this point, we can easily isolate dispersive phase from dispersion medium. Again, the solution is reconstituted by adding dispersion medium to the dispersive phase. Again it is reconstituted. So therefore this type of colloidal sols are called as reversible sols. This type of colloids are called reversible sols. Why the lyophilic sols are called as reversible sols? The main principle is the particles of dispersive phase can easily mixing with the dispersion medium. Basing on that principle, we can easily isolate a dispersive phase from dispersion medium. Again, we can reconstitute the total colloidal solution by adding dispersion medium. Therefore, finally, we get a lyophilic sol. So, this is a reversible sol. Another important thing is this lyophilic colloidal sols are more stable. These are more stable colloidal solutions. And next thing is this type of lyophilic sols are cannot be coagulated or precipitated. With addition of any electrolyte. For example, suppose that if the given colloidal solution is unstable or least stable, when we are adding electrolyte, there is a coagulation takes place. That means opposite charge particles get neutralized and finally the colloidal solution get precipitated. But it is not possible in the case of lyophilic sols because these are more stable colloidal solutions. Due to the stability of the lyophilic sols, if you are adding any electrolyte to the lyophilic sols, they cannot be coagulated or precipitated. So, in the given lyophilic sols, if a dispersion medium is water, they are also known as hydrophilic sols. Hydrophilic sols. So, what are the best example for this are aqueous solution of starch, gum and gelatin. So best example for the lyophilic sols are aqueous solution of starch, gum and gelatin. So these are all the main principles regarding to the lyophilic sols. Lyophilic sols are first classification of interaction takes place between the dispersive phase and dispersion medium. There is a greater affinity interaction between the dispersive phase and dispersion medium. These are isolated we can easily isolate dispersive phase from dispersion medium. Again, it is reconstituted by adding dispersion medium. These are more stable solutions and reversible sols. They cannot be coagulated or precipitated. In the given solution, if the dispersion medium is water, that are hydrophilic sols. Best examples are aqueous solution of starch, gum, gelatin. Hydrophobic sols are solvent hating sols. So what are hydrophobic sols or solvent hating sols? If there is a lesser interaction or no interaction between the dispersive phase and dispersion medium, very less interaction or no interaction takes place between the dispersive phase and dispersion medium, such type of colloids are called lyophilic sols or solvent hating sols. Okay, like lyophilic sols, these lyophobic sols are not stable. These are very less stable colloidal solutions. If you are adding any electrolyte, to this colloidal solution, they undergo coagulation or precipitation. So because of the less stability, these lyophobic colloidal sols are get precipitated or coagulated easily by adding electrolyte or shaking or heating. If the given colloidal solution is heating or shaking well or addition of electrolyte, the colloidal solution undergo coagulation or precipitation. Coagulation or precipitation means if one of the substance added to the another substance, the opposite charged particles are get neutralized and they coming down as a precipitate. The process is known as coagulation or flocculation. Therefore, less stability of lyophilic soles, they undergo coagulation or flocculation. These are irreversible soles. These are irreversible soles. That means if the addition of the dispersed medium, we cannot reconstitute the total colloidal solution. In case of lyophilic soles, they are reversible soles. By the addition of dispersed medium, we can reconstitute the total colloidal solution, but it is not possible in case of lyophobic soles, that are solvent hating soles. These are irreversible soles and very less stable soles. They undergo coagulation or flocculation, less interaction between the dispersive phase and dispersed medium. Best example for the lyophobic soles are metals in water, metals present in water, and metal sulfides, metal sulfides present in water. So these are the main important points about lyophobic soles. Less interaction takes place between the dispersive phase and dispersed medium. Less stable soles. They undergo coagulation or flocculation, addition of electrolyte. These are irreversible soles. That means the colloidal solutions cannot be reconstituted by the addition of the dispersed medium. Best examples are metals in water, metal sulfides are in water. Classification based on the type of particles of dispersed phase. This is the third classification of the colloidal solution based on the nature of the particles of present in the dispersive phase. These are mainly classified into three types. First one, multimolecular colloids. Multimolecular colloids. And second one, macromolecular colloids. Macromolecular colloids. And third one, associated colloids. And third one, associated colloids or micelles. So based on the nature of the particles, again colloids are classified into three categories. First one, multimolecular colloids. Second one, macromolecular colloids. And third one, associated colloids. First one, multimolecular colloids. What are multimolecular colloids? Say large number of atoms, ions, large number of atoms, ions or molecules which are present in a dispersive phase and aggregated to form a large sized particle with a diameter of greater than 1 nanometer. Such type of colloids are called multimolecular colloids. The atoms, ions or molecules of a substance present in the dispersive phase are aggregated and able to form a large sized molecule that is known as with a diameter of greater than 1 nanometer. Such type of colloids are called multimolecular colloids. Multimolecular colloids. In these multimolecular colloids, the substances having with all dimensions of colloidal range. For example, diameter of the particles is compulsorily greater than 1 nanometer. So what is the definition of multimolecular colloids? The substance of atoms, ions, molecules which are present in the dispersive phase are aggregated to form a large molecule with a diameter of colloidal particle greater than 1 nanometer. Such type of colloids are called multimolecular colloids. Best example for the multimolecular colloid is gold solution. Best example is gold solution. Gold solution contain many types of gold atoms with dimensions of colloidal range. And next one, sulfur solution. That means SC2 solution. Sulfur solution. Sulfur solution also contain many number of sulfur atoms having crown shape. This is also having with the dimensions of the colloidal range. So this is about the multimolecular colloids. Macromolecular colloids. Second one, macromolecular colloids. What are macromolecular colloids? So the definition of the macromolecular colloids like this. The macromolecules like proteins, enzymes, the macromolecules like proteins, enzymes dissolved in a suitable solvent to form a particular type of colloidal solution. Such type of solutions are called macromolecular colloids. In case of macromolecular colloids, especially macromolecules like proteins, enzymes, vitamins, so cellulose, all these macromolecules are dissolved in a suitable solvent able to form such type of colloids with all dimensions. Such type of colloids are called macromolecular colloids. So the best example for the naturally occurring macromolecular colloids having polymers of starch, cellulose and enzymes. Artificially occurring macromolecular colloids contain polymers of polythene, polystyrene and nylon. Polythene, polystyrene and nylon. So these are the best example for the naturally occurring macromolecular colloids, artificially occurring macromolecular colloids. Naturally occurring macromolecular colloids consisting of polymers of cellulose enzyme like that. Artificially occurring macromolecular colloids consisting of polymers of polythene, polystyrene and nylon, etc. So best example for the macromolecular colloids, these are all more stable colloids like true solutions. These are more stable colloidal salts like true solutions. So this is about macromolecular colloids. Associated colloids are micelles. So what are associated colloids? What are micelles? If some of the substances at a low concentration, some of the substances at low concentration behaves as strong electrolytes, but at a high concentration, they behave as like colloidal nature. Due to the aggregation of particles, due to the aggregation of the particles. Such type of colloids are called associated colloids. The aggregated particles are called micelles. This is the definition of the associated colloids. So what are associated colloids? Are micelles. Some of the substances at low concentration, they behave as a strong electrolytes, but at high concentration they behave the colloidal nature due to the aggregation of the particles. Such type of colloids are called associated colloids. Then the aggregated particles are called micelles. So generally the formation of the micelles takes place. So best example for the micelles are soaps and detergents. Soaps and detergents are best example for the micelles. And another important thing is the formation of the micelles takes place particular above concentration, that is known as CMC, critical micelle concentration. The formation of the micelle takes place at above particular temperature, that is known as Kraft temperature. So these are all the main two important things for the formation of the micelles. The formation of the micelles takes place only at above particular concentration, that is known as CMC, critical micelle concentration. The formation of the micelle takes place at above particular temperature, that is known as Craft temperature. Okay, therefore, at a critical micelle concentration and a Craft temperature, the formation of the micelle takes place. Otherwise, if below the critical micelle concentration or below the Craft temperature, the formation of the micelle does not takes place. Okay, every micelle consisting of 100 ions or molecules. 100 ions or molecules. Every micelle consisting of 100 ions or molecules. Every micelle has its CMC value. Every micelle has its own critical micelle concentration. In case of soaps, CMC value is 10 to the power 4 to 10 to the power minus 3 mole liter inverse. So these are all definition for the explanation about associated colloids and micelles. Mechanism of micelle formation. Mechanism of micelle formation, it clearly observed by the soaps. It clearly observed by the soaps. So what are soaps? Soaps are chemically sodium or potassium salts of long chain fatty acids. Long chain fatty acids. So mechanism of micelle can be explained by the soaps. Chemically, soaps are sodium or potassium salts of long chain fatty acids. Their general formula is RCOO minus Na plus. The best example is sodium stearate C17H35COO minus Na plus. This is a formula for sodium stearate. Sodium stearate formula C17H35COO minus. It can be represented as like this. So this is a CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2 and again CH2, 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 CH2. Carbon valence existing as 4, CH2, CH2, CH2. This is also CH2. How many of you? C17H35 COO minus Na plus. So this is the representation of C17H35 COO minus Na plus. Here this is the polar group. COO minus is polar group. This is the polar group. This can also be represented by simple manner like this. The above structure, stearate ion can be written like this manner. Simply, this is a negative charge. This is the polar group, hydrophilic part. This is the head part. The alkyl chain, this is alkyl chain, indicates are C17H35. This is a hydrophobic part, and this is the tail part. This is the representation of the stearate ion. So mechanism of micelle can be explained by the soaps. Soaps are best example for the micelles. Soaps are sodium potassium salts of long chain fatty acids, represented by this formula RCO minus. Best example, sodium stearate. Sodium stearate can be represented like this manner. It having a polar group like a hydrophilic part and a head part. The carbon chain length C17H35 indicates as hydrophobic part and tail part. Micelle formation, soap solution. Formation of the micelle can be explained by the soap solution. We know the structure of the micelle explained by the soap. Soap is a sodium stearate ion represented by this manner. This is a polar group. This is the non-polar group. This is a non-polar group. So this indicates alkyl chain, or this indicates COO minus. At low concentration, so once you look at the image, at low concentration, the polar group present in the water, as shown in the image, the polar group, for example, this is water, the polar group COO minus present in the water, the hydrocarbon chain present outside of the water. Because at low concentration, soap form as a crystalloid. So due to this reason, the polar group present inside of the water and hydrocarbon chain present outside of the surface of the water. But at CMC, at a critical missile concentration, the process is going on like this. At a critical missile concentration, we are observing that the polar group completely pulled into the water, the RCO minus group completely pulled into the water and able to form a spherical shaped molecule. In that spherical shaped molecule, the hydrocarbon parts are pointed towards at the center of the sphere, and the polar groups are present outside of this sphere as shown in the image. Okay, why the critical missile concentration, the reaction takes place like this? Clearly identified only the difference between the concentration. When the soap dissolved in water, that means the ions which are presenting in the water in soap, when dissolved in water at low concentration, soap form a crystalloid with water. That's why polar group present inside of the water, hydrocarbon part present outside of the water. At a critical missile concentration, polar group interact with the water, total RCO minus group completely pulled into the water and able to form aggregation of the molecules takes place. They will be form a spherically shaped bigger molecule. In that, hydrocarbon parts centered inside of the molecule and polar groups are present outside of the molecule. This is finally cleaning action of soap. How the soaps can be helpful to the cleaning purpose of clothes. So this cleaning action of soap completely remove the concept of the formation of the missile. Generally every day we are wearing different types of clothes and washing. When we are washing the clothes, some oil droplets or grease droplets are presenting on the cloth, like the image. Once you look into the image, in that image you have to clearly see the oil droplets or grease droplets which are presenting on the surface of the cloth when we are adding soap. Soap consisting of stearate ions. When soap is applied to the cloth, the ions presenting in the soap are surrounded by like this. So look at this image. In that image, the polar groups are present outside of the oil droplet like this manner. This is a oil droplet, polar group. COO minus groups are present outside of the oil droplet and a hydrocarbon bond present inside of the oil droplet. And finally, when the polar group is interact with water, the polar group of the stearate ion interact with water, then totally the oil droplets which are surrounded by stearate ions like polar groups and hydrocarbon parts, those are completely pulled into the water and finally they are aggregated like this manner. The hydrocarbon part pointed inside of the molecule and a polar group present outside of the molecule. Therefore, in the formation of the missile, the cloth is completely washed away. Okay, in a cleaning action of the soap, we clearly identify the concept of the formation of the missile. We already known that how the missile's formation takes place in a mechanism of missile formation by using soap solution. At the same manner, when soap is applied to the cloth, the oil droplets or grease droplets are washed away in the form of the micelle. So, the same mechanism of formation of micelles in case of soaps is the same manner as in the cleaning purpose of the soaps. This is the cleaning purpose of the soaps. Mainly, soaps are useful to cleansing purpose of the clothes. Okay, students. Finally, we recall what we learned in this class. So, we learned about, we discussed still now, the classification of the colloids based on the physical state of the dispersive phase and dispersed medium. And second one, interaction between the dispersive phase and dispersed medium. And third one, nature of the particle of the dispersive phase. And next one, especially we focused on formation of the micelles, how the micelles are formed, and mechanism of the micelle, and finally cleaning action of the soaps. Thank you to all.